Everybody, welcome back to the channel Emergence, Diaspora. Today we're talking real estate, and it's another installment of our video series on Afrobiz Ottawa, Afrobiz Gatineau. So today we are talking real estate with Nicole, and I will introduce her to you in this show, and we'll talk real estate and all the ways that you can invest, and also showcase her business and how she can help you reach your real estate goals. So let's get started with today's show right away. So Nicole, thank you, and thank you for welcoming me in your beautiful home, you and your husband, and it's a very beautiful place, and I thank you for that.
Thank you. Glad to have you here.
Awesome. So let's get started right away. Tell us a little bit about who you are, what's your background, your origins, so other people can relate maybe to the path you've had to the point of becoming a real estate agent.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Nicole Kabongo. I am a realtor, also known as real estate agent here in the Ottawa regions. I am a mother, a proud wife of my amazing husband and best friend. Together we have one daughter, and we work together in this project of real estate in order to serve our community. In terms of my background, I am born and raised in Kinshasa, the Democratic Republic of Congo, and my family and I migrated to Canada since I was 13. And most of my days I spent living in Ontario for about 19 years or so. In terms of how I got into real estate, I really was working for a high-end top number one beverage company in the world. That's where I gained most of my sales, service, and consulting skills. And today, actually, I am also involved in the construction and building for one of the top high-end construction manufacturer equipment that's out there in the world, which really pairs up really well with my real estate career. Other than work, you could find me enjoying a really nice vacation on the beach with my family or with friends. And yeah, that's pretty much who I am.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for that beautiful introduction. Buying a house. What is the process to buy a house? Maybe we have some people who want to get in the market, would like to purchase their first home, achieve the Canadian dream of home ownership. So what are, just at a high level, what are the steps to prepare yourself and be able to purchase a house?
First of all, let me say, every time I hear buying a house, it just like enlightens me. It enlightens me because that's why I got into this business, this career, is to be the source of information for families and friends to be able to build generational wealth. So if you're already thinking about buying a house, you are watching the right show. Like,
Absolutely.
You are in the right platform right now, because it's my passion to be able to provide that kind of education and information to people so they know the step-by-steps of that it requires for you to successfully become a homeowner, which can take a few months for you or a couple years. So depending on where you're at in the journey, I will start by just giving general advice. So pretty much, first you need to have the desire to become a homeowner. I can't tell you how many times I meet people, they just like don't know that they could ever own a home, but they're sitting with lots of cash in their bank account, right? Because there's just not information available. But once they start joining real estate seminars, or they're reading books, getting that general knowledge, or even just coming in this channel today to hear what I'm about to say, will create a desire in your heart to become a homeowner. So with that desire, without that passion, all the other steps I'm about to list are going to be easy peasy, because you already have the intention, the goal to become a homeowner.
Yeah, so the foundation is have the desire.
Have the desire.
Have
And
the desire.
Many agents wouldn't tell you that. It's by experience, because I've realized in anything in life, you have to start with a goal. So that desire, its own, would turn into a goal. And then you can apply all the steps that I'm about to share with you to actually, realize your dream. So have the desire, whether you have $0 in your bank account, whether your credit is terrible right now, whether you're like, gosh, the market, the home price are so high.
Yeah.
Once you have the desire and the passion and you turn that into goals and utilize these steps I'm about to tell you, the sky is the limit.
Good. Hey guys, if you want to buy a house, she stole me on this. I want to work with her. Right? So definitely get your pen and paper out and let's take notes. So what are these steps beyond the desire?
Right. We can't just be dreamers, right? You can't just have a passion, like something in your heart and never bring it into life. You need to turn that into a goal. Make sure you write it down and you are telling yourself, here's where I am at today. I'm desiring, no matter what it takes, I want to become a homeowner.
Yeah.
And your goal has to be, what they taught us in school, SMART goals.
Right.
Specific. We know that you want to be a homeowner. Measurable by when, right? Measurable would be more so like what type of house do you want?
Right.
Start writing these things down or desiring them and dreaming about those. What kind of house do I want? Maybe, my dream home, it would not be my first home, but where can I start? Can I connect with a realtor to kind of guide me in terms of the market? Right? And then the next, in terms of SMART goals, is attainable. Are your dreams attainable, right? We can all dream to have a $5 million home, but maybe we can start a little bit more, conservative side and go on. So make sure when you're desiring and creating these SMART goals, that it's something that will be attainable. And then next, I think SMART art will be
attainable. R would be realistic.
There you go. Attainable and realistic go hand in hand. So I'll just skip that one. And the T is timely. So you have to time it out. You won't be able to build a plan just on your own if you're just starting into desiring to become a homeowner. Get with me, get with the realtor to help, time it out for you, because everybody's situation will be different.
Absolutely.
Right? If you've got the cash ready, your credit is good, we know what you want, we get connected, that can be 2 months in terms of your timeline. But depending on your situation, sometimes it may be 2 years, but time flies. Sometimes that 2 years can feel like 2 months. So get with that SMART goal together and plan. So now that we skip all the theory, the next step is to, again, get with the realtor to understand the market.
Right.
Where are some of the areas that you can afford in? How is the market? Is it a seller's market versus a buyer market? What does that mean? We won't be able to cover all of that today, but get with an agent to be able to learn all that information. Those are like preliminary steps. And then the real step will be that once you get with an agent, most of us work with a mortgage partner, or mortgage agent, or broker that will assess your financial capabilities and be able to pre-approve you for mortgage.
Okay.
So in that, what they do is they're going to look into your savings. How much have you saved up so far to be able to afford the home that you're desiring? Generally speaking, for first-time homeowner, Canada offers that 5% incentive, which means all you need is 5% of the actual home purchase price, right? So if the house is listed at $500,000, then 5% of that will be $25,000. Again, I'm generalizing. The mortgage agent will be able to speak on more details in terms of like the percentages, because I know sometimes when you go over 500, then you're required to give 10% above that, etc. Lots of details, but just keep this general rule in mind that it's 5% for first-time homeowner. You need to have that available either from your savings, or it can be a gift from a family member. So from your parents, from a close relative that said, hey, I want to invest in your life. I'm going to give you this gift of the $25K if the house is $500,000, right? Yeah. Or you have a little bit of lump sum and then someone else wants to gift you, make sure it's a family member that could also add to your down payment. In addition to that, my lawyer will explain to you like the closing fees and all that, those details. Yeah. But today we're just sharing 101.
High level. Yeah.
High level, 5% down. And another thing they're going to look for is your credit rating. So many times I meet with very smart people, and it's no one's fault because we're not taught this in school.
Exactly.
I studied business. Actually, I didn't say that as part of my bio, but I went to York University in Toronto, and I studied business commerce. We didn't learn about credit at all. Wow. So they will assess your credit history, There are lots of free websites out there that will give you your credit history and monthly or weekly updates on how you're performing. I also do work with a credit builder team, a person that will be able to coach you and advise you on how to turn your credit around in like 6 months.
That's very important.
Anything is fixable. Credit, down payments, they will look at, as well as they're going to assess your buying power. What is buying power? Essentially, they're going to look at your annual income, either yourself or your household, whoever's going to be on the title of that home, and be able to give you an amount of minimum or maximum that the bank can loan you. That's really important. Oftentimes I have people reaching out, they're like, no, I only want this type of house. That's amazing, but your debt to income ratio has to be able to make sense for you, the bank, to be able to loan you that specific home. So that's really the big piece that I feel most people is the journey for them before we turn you into a homeowner, is that mortgage pre-approval.
That's the key.
We talked about, the preliminary things. You have to desire, you have to want it. You can have the best credit, you can have a lot of money, but if you don't desire to be a homeowner, if you don't know the benefits or the privileges, then you're not going to spend that money on that, right? You may want to buy a car, or you may want to go investor back home. A lot of people are it's like, but
there are risks to it.
Let's build here first. That's always my advice, because you have something to fall back on. Those are really one of the first bubble is to get pre-approval. Once our mortgage agent gets you pre-approved, means you have your 5% down, you have that credit is good. I believe minimum is now 660. Okay. As a minimum, the higher you go, the better interest rate you'll get. Right. And also your income, so your debt to income ratio. So how much you make relative to how much debt you have will give the bank a number as to how much they can loan you. So once you've been pre-approved, then you get back with me as your realtor. We had a plan. We're at this step now. Then we can go out there and start shopping. Yeah. It's very critical, very important, not to start looking at homes before you get that pre-approval. Okay? Because you may be looking at homes way over your budget or looking at homes way under your budget. You have to work with the realistic trends of the market and what you can afford. So once I know what the bank can loan you, then we can get out there, start shopping. I need to know how much you have in your credit card if I'm going to, take you to the mall. So I'm pretty much the person that will go to the mall with you, be able to find you the home that best suits your needs and your pocket. So once we get that, so fast track this side because it goes really fast. Okay. Once we select the home that you like, we put an offer in. So me as your realtor would draft the paperwork and the document, all the legal stuff that goes into it, any conditions that we want to put on the house. Don't skip your inspection. It's really critical, especially when the market is, cooling off. It's really important to have that inspection.
Because a lot of people have been skipping it in the hot last 2 years that we've had, right?
Yeah. And I did the same thing with my clients too. I mean, my rule of thumb is always if the home is less than 7 years old, you have higher chances probably still covered under warranty and things like that. If it's gonna help or offer, there's things we have to align on before, but it's super important always to think about having that inspection first, right? Sure. So we draft that offer very quickly. We submit it. Oftentimes there are more than one person that wants the same house. So then you go in a bit of a bidding war. Then it's really up to the seller to decide. Do they want to go with the higher money or do they want to go with the faster closing? It's a lot of factors in there. Should our offer be accepted? That means you're under contract. So we have, depending on how much we agree on, we wanted to have the closing. It can happen in 1, 2, 3, 4 months. Ideally, you're looking about 1 to 3 months as your closing dates, which means the seller can no longer offer this home is off the market. It cannot be sold to anybody else. MLS will change as in sold conditionally or sold pending closing. And this house is pretty much yours. And what's happening in between those 2 months is the inspections being done? The bank is notified that we have an accepted offer. It's such an exciting moment. I have so many good videos. I catch my clients, like I record them when
you call to announce.
Yeah, and the joy is amazing. Even though we haven't gone through closing yet, it's just like, oh my goodness, right? And yeah, once that period is just to inspection, you're preparing your moving. I'll give you a sheet on like how to move, different mover companies, and notifying the bank to make sure that they finalize the work. And then once the bank finalizes everything, we call it a closing day, which is pretty much your home possession day.
Yeah.
And that's the day where you get the keys, you meet up with the lawyer. My team is well equipped to give you all the services. We have a lawyer that we work with in the community that will be able to all my team people, bilinguals, be able to service you. And the closing is pretty smooth. With the pandemic, a lot of things are being done virtually.
Right.
And then after that closing, the key is yours and we pop the champagne and celebrate.
Very valuable information. Thank you for those details. Definitely. Now you know the high-level steps. As you heard from Nicole, your pre-approval is key. That way you do not waste your time and you do not waste your realtor's time as well. So you can go look at houses knowing exactly that the bank has approved you for a certain amount. So you can have a more targeted search for your home.